Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A for all you guys that have been asking me questions on YouTube and on my Facebook. You guys actually came up with some really good questions to ask, so there was a lot of them. So I'm going to try to pick out just a few and make a few different videos out of them. But first of all, just want to point out my dope ass hat by Body Engineers, and my shirt too. This clothing line for real is top notch. I love it. If you guys want to check it out, it's engineeredlife.com. Again, engineeredlife.com. You guys always see me wearing this stuff. Freaking love it. It's a good mix of fashion and a little bit of fitness. But anyways, on to the questions. Let's see. Let me pick out a few of these. And first question. Bernice Thomas asks, is it better to lose some fat before building muscle? Let's see. Yes. The answer to that is always yes. I always get guys, as you guys know, I do online coaching. I always get guys who want to put on muscle, but they're, I mean, no offense or anything like that, but they're on the fat side, you know what I mean? On the overweight side. So I always recommend you try to lose some body fat and before you even go on a bulking cycle or anything like that. You know, there's no point of bulking if you're, you know, I'd say 15% body fat or over. Your best bet is probably get down to very minimum, I would say like maybe 10%, and then just work your way up. Once you get up to like maybe 13-14%, maybe cut it off, cut back down, repeat and stuff like that. But you can always lose body fat and also build muscle while doing it. That's the best way. I wouldn't really recommend getting like super skinny then try to build muscle, because that's what I did, and that was just like the hardest part for me. You know, it took me a couple years to get some quality size muscle, and it's just tough. I always say, you know, unless you have really good genetics, it's very difficult. Well, it's going to be a little bit more challenging trying to put on muscle than dropping weight. Dropping weight, getting shredded and stuff like that, it's fairly easy, you know, especially if you follow a diet and everything's on point. It's a lot easier than building muscle. Building muscle takes a lot more time. You can cut within weeks, but you know, building muscle, good quality muscle, will take about 6 months to about a year, so you can get some good sized muscle. But anyways, I freaking love how this shirt looks on me. It's pretty dope. Love how the shoulders pop out and everything. I'm telling you, these guys are awesome. Body Engineers. So yes, the answer to that is I would definitely recommend you to get to a little bit of a lower body fat before building muscle. Let's see. Let's go on to a different question. Let's see. Dennis asks, what was your hardest obstacle to overcome? And if you could attribute your successful journey to one factor, what would it be? Let's see. The hardest obstacles. I don't know. I would say a breakup. I think a lot of the guys and even girls would agree with this. Breakups are very tough, and I went through a couple these last couple years, and it took a toll on me. Got to the point where I was really depressed, and I just didn't want to work out anymore. Wanted to skip meals. I just didn't have the motivation to just get back in the gym or anything like that, and just, you know, there's times in a relationship where you feel like, you know, your whole life revolves around somebody, And that's okay to an extent, but you know, you should never depend on anybody to be happy. I think your happiness should always come within yourself. And you know, if you can't make yourself happy, how do you expect to make anybody else happy? So you should never depend on anybody for your own, for the sake of your happiness. So I would say the toughest obstacle was a breakup, and it got really bad, like I said. How did I get through it? Let's see. Honestly, I always say God. God is amazing. I honestly, there's at that point when I was going through that breakup, I just felt like I just hit rock bottom. It wasn't just the breakup. It was a lot of stuff that was happening. You know, prepping through shows, not placing where I wanted to place, and just stuff at work, and you know, just life happened at me, and it all just piled up, and it was just so difficult for me to overcome all that. But when I hit rock bottom, I opened up my heart to, you know, Jesus, and you know, I started talking to God, and I literally got on my knees, started talking to him, and I asked him to just help me get through it. I didn't understand why all this stuff was happening to me or anything like that. But at that point, you know, that was like my last straw. It's like, I felt like, you know, friends, family, they can only do so much for you. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was just, it was God. God definitely helped me get inside the gym again, get that motivation, to keep on going with that motivation, and, you know, staying focused. So what I did is I mean, of course, I would go to work, I would get up for fasted cardio, I would go to work, I would get off of work to go back to the gym to train, then go back home around midnight, take a shower, cry myself to sleep, and repeat. So, I mean, things weren't getting better, but, you know, with time, you know, I just felt like my life was just coming together again. So, you know, I do believe things happen for a reason. And, you know, when you don't have anybody, you know, I would say God is always my rock. Just definitely someone I can always count on. So that's that. Hope that answers that question. So I owe my success to God, for just, you know, giving me the opportunities that I've had, and also for just, you know, just giving me life in general, you know. So okay, so let's move on to a different question. Is it okay to do incline cardio after weights? This is Nicole who asked that question. Yes, I always say cardio after weights is the best way to go. I wouldn't do cardio before weights. If you're going to train, if you're going to go in for one session, definitely hit the weights first, because you're going to be fresh, your strength levels are going to be a little higher, and you'll burn a lot more calories. And you know, burning fat and, you know, fat calories, it's, you know, doing weight training is always going to be the best way. You know, you can always keep your heart rate up by lifting heavy. If you ever go to the gym and try to, you know, do some deadlifts or a little heavy, you know, within a few sets, you know, your heart is going to be pounding, right? So, I mean, you're going to have your heart rate pretty up there. So, I personally, if I'm going to go in for one session, I always do my weights first, then do cardio. So that's that. Let's see, another question. Okay, this is a good one. This is from Blake, which is one of my clients. Do you ever hit rock bottom weight before you start bulking? You know what? That's a little tough to answer, but I am gonna say this. I really try not to weigh myself as much anymore, just because I feel like the scale is just a tool for to track progress, and it's not the most accurate because there'll be times where I'll be 173 and I'll look bigger and a lot more shredded than when I'm 185, 190. So I always tell people, take measurements. Make sure you're measuring your arms, your chest, your waist, and stuff like that. So I personally don't really base myself on weight. I usually try to use the mirror as a guideline. I learned that from all my coaches. They just told me stop weighing yourself. It's just a mind fuck, and it really is. Especially for us guys, once we start seeing that scale drop down, we think we need a refeed day or a cheat meal or something because we're losing muscle all of a sudden, even though we're probably just dropping body fat. So I always tell everybody, make sure you just use the mirror as a guideline, and that's exactly what I do as far as bulking or refeed days and stuff like that. I always try to just go based on what I see on the mirror. If I feel like I'm starting to flatten out a lot, I'll hit a refeed day. If I feel like I'm getting a little too skinny and losing mass, I'll up my carbs. If I feel like I'm gaining some body fat that I'm not looking for, I definitely up my cardio and just kind of play around with my diet a little bit. So that's that. Okay, let's go on to a different question. When you lose motivation, what do you do to get your mindset back into place? This is from Daniel Perez, who's also one of my clients. Let's see. It's really easy to lose motivation, as most of you guys know. I myself, I guess you can say I'm very self-driven. I always have, big goals, big aspirations, and stuff like that because I feel like I definitely have something going with this whole fitness stuff, and I want to do the best I can do, and just sky's the limit, So when I do lose motivation, what do? I just made a post about this just the other day. What I do is I always take progress pictures. So what I do is I always go inside my phone, and there's times when I'll sit outside the gym in my car for about 10-15 minutes before I actually go in. But what I do is I started browsing through my pictures, and I just started looking at pictures from my photo shoots, or I would say just wherever I felt like my physique was at its best, and I use that for motivation. It's just I want to get back to that level. I want to surpass it. So I use myself for my own motivation. I also surround myself around successful people and people with the same goals. So on my Facebook, it's just my newsfeed is just constantly blowing up with all these people who are just successful and motivated in the fitness industry. So I also, as most of you guys know, I've been pursuing my first cover shot for a fitness magazine. So what I do is I've got a couple of these issues here. Right, Rob Riches and Matt Krishner. Anyhow, what I do is I always, as soon as I get up, I look at those magazines, and that keeps me motivated to reach my goal. It's just whenever I feel like I don't want to get up for fasted cardio or anything like that, I look at those magazines and I'm like, hey man, you gotta bust your ass off. It's like, you gotta do this. You want to be on that magazine. Get your ass up, put in work. So that's how I try to motivate myself. I try to get back on my grind. If you guys ever need any help with motivation, you guys can always hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. By the way, my Instagram is at Luis Montoya Fit, and make sure you follow and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's see. I think that's about it. That's gonna cut it for today's session. I'll try to save a few more questions for our next video, and I hope this helped. So once again, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Luis Montoya, Luis Montoya Fit. Instagram at Luis Montoya Fit, and hit me up on Facebook. Add me and like my page. All right. Once again, Body Engineers, EngineeredLife.com. We out.